A very good morning to all my dear students. Good morning, children. Divyansh, Anil, Khush, Anshika, Palak, Ansupa, all of you. Good morning, children, and those who are with us on the portal also. Very good morning to all of you. So we have already had Abdul Shah. Good morning, Ansupa, Naina, Priyanshi, Abdul. Good morning, children. So we have already had two sessions of Indian Partnership Act. Today we are moving towards the third class for Indian Partnership Act. So we have done unit number 1. Now we'll be starting with unit number 2. Naina, Saleha, Almas, Kavita, good morning all of you children. So as always, we try to begin the session with a quick revision of what we have done in the past. So there's a small test which I'm going to conduct. But before that, let me just introduce Unit 2, what we are going to do in Unit 2. Good morning, Kavita, Amit. What we are going to do in Unit 2 is relationship of partners. Today, we are going to understand that in Unit 1, the partnership that we have formed, how we are going to function in that partnership, how the partners are going to behave, what are their mutual rights and duties, how is their relationship with the third parties. So mutual agency principle, we have already understood. Section 19 to 27 is paying a lot of stress and elaboration on that mutual agency principle, how the liability of partners come actually into existence. Then we'll be talking about implied authority of partners, and partners coming in and going out means admission of a partner and the retirement of a partner. So if you all remember in Unit 1 also, we have had a small discussion about admission and retirement of a partner. So here goes your test of question number 1. There is a partner A, B, C, and D. A, B, C are active partners and Mr. D is a sleeping partner. On 1st August 2020, Mr. D left the firm. There was a supplier, there's a supplier company, ABC Limited, which came to recover money from this firm, ABCD Associates, for the loan that they have given for rupees 20,000 on 1st February 2020. So A, B, C, D, all of them were partners at that time. But now one of the partner, who is a sleeping partner, has retired. Can we say Mr. D is also liable to pay for this loan amount? Say they have taken a loan from Mr. G or any supplier, Mr. G has supplied the goods. Is D also liable for this payment? Good morning, John. I hope you have got my question, all of you. Now I want you all to answer it on the chat box. Will D be held liable? Okay, Khush quickly says D is not liable because he's a sleeping partner. No, ma'am, he is not liable. Yash says not, he's not. Divyansh, excellent. And also one more child has sent the correct answer. See how I confused you. At just a click of button, everyone got confused because ma'am is laying so much stress on a sleeping partner. We have to learn that he does not need to give public notice. Had I asked about the loan on a later date, you should have applied your mind. What have I told you? Don't you think? Akshat has given the correct answer. Anshuka, Almas, and all others. Don't you think that D is also liable to outsiders? Yes, Abdul. Abdul has acted very smartly. He has given me disclaimer for both the things. Ma'am, if he has left during that time, then loan is taken later, then he is not liable, but don't. So you have to listen to the question very carefully because it's an oral test. I'm just trying to check your brain, how well you have retained the information. And this is what is going to happen with you in the last few days when you'll be revising your subject. सब कुछ है यहाँ, but उसे implementation अच्छी आनी चाहिए. So D is a sleeping partner. All of you are applying your brains very nicely. No, he's not required to give public notice. He will not be liable. But what is the teacher asking you? I said on 1st August 2020, he retired. He left the firm for the amounts which were due on 1st February. Am I right? This is what I told you. 1st February loan that has been taken by the firm. Obviously, he is liable for everything till the time he was a partner. So don't worry. All these things will be doing with lots and lots of illustration when we do the topic of retirement of a partner. But here I was just trying to check your judgment about the active and a sleeping partner. Okay, so all those, yes, he'll be liable. And Supa, now you have written correct because he was a partner in the firm at that time. So now I'll ask you a direct question. This was an indirect question. अब ध्यान से सुनना. Direct question आप सब मुझे बताओ. Do you think sleeping partner is also liable for all the actions of the firm? Yes, ma'am, or no, ma'am? Now everybody has answered it correctly. Yes, ma'am. So that is what was the question about? So during the period you are the partner, you are liable. Now you all are saying yes. So that means you know it. So did you got confused when I told you the dates? So it's okay. It's absolutely fine. Then that will, if you will not get confused, then there won't be any purpose to tell you about the topics more. Na? So it's good that you're applying your brains. But public notice wala point. Now let me discuss that question also with you. Suppose 1st August she has retired. On 1st September, a loan was taken by the firm. D has not given the public notice. Will D be held liable? Assuming the same question, D is a sleeping partner. Now you all are correct. No, ma'am, he will not be liable. Now your valid answer will come. Good morning, Satyam. No, he's not liable because he was a sleeping partner and it is not necessary to give the public notice. Have you all understood? All the points are clear. 3 different points we have done related to a sleeping partner. 3 different case study questions we have discussed related to him. All right, good. Everybody has written yes, ma'am. Now we understood. Most of you have written that. That's wonderful. That means now you have the absolute clarity in your mind. Okay, another question for all of you. There are 3 partners, Mr. PQR. They are into sale and purchase of, say, for example, they're partners in the departmental store and they're running a departmental store. And they are, electronic items. They are partners in the electronic items, all these mixie jars and all the juicers, everything. So, Mr. G, a dealer comes to the shop for supply of the goods. And then there was a worker, Mr. E, in their office, in the partner's office, PQR. But he's having a very great communication skills. So P said, Mr. E, why don't you talk to this dealer G? And he's also a partner in a firm. And G got so impressed by talking to Mr. E that he supplied 50 electronic items and a bill of rupees 1 lakh was made in the firm's name. Later on, PQR failed to repay the amount. Do you think he can also held liable in this case? Although he was just a worker, he was not a partner. Good morning, Niharika. I hope you all are understanding the questions. Divyansh is the first one to give correct answer. Anil, Satyam says no. Anil says yes, yes, yes. All of you and Mas, Nena, wonderful. And you have disclosed the answer also. So Satyam, why did you say no? Yes, he is liable. It was very good. Shoaib, Khush, Abdul, very nice. Khusha, he will be liable. Saliha Farms, excellent. So this is what I'm going to discuss with you about how to attempt descriptive questions. All of you are absolutely correct. He becomes a partner by holding out, and yes, he will be held liable. So all those who have not understood it very clearly, one, I'm going to tell you how to write the answer in the exam. And secondly, I'm going to tell you how you have to relate these case studies with your relevant provision. So I told you in the last class, once we have done the chapter. Okay, Satyam says, now I have understood the question. Good. So once you have done the chapter, we'll try to do the related case study based question also. So this is the question for the chapter 1 case study. X and Y are partners dealing in sale and purchase of electronic items. They have recently introduced new type of washing machine. X has a friend A who had good knowledge about the washing machines. X has fixed up a meeting with the new client and requested his friend to accompany him. So either it can be a friend or employee or any other person. A is not a partner. Remember this thing. And during the meeting, 26 June 2018 meeting was held. A was introduced as a partner and he remained silent. A was actively participating and he made them believe that he's a partner in the firm, and A supplied 120 washing machines on credit. On credit means udhar pay. Now, during the credit period, after the credit period, X did not get the payment. Can he hold A also liable? Tell me. Now read the question carefully and answer me. What will be your correct answer for this? Z has filed a case against X and A. Can we hold A also liable? What would be the correct answer, children? Okay, all those who are here with us on the portal also, please answer carefully. So how will you attempt this question? All of you have answered it very beautifully. Yes, ma'am, he becomes partner by holding out, he will be liable. So this is how your answer actually should go about. First of all, you always have to write the relevant provisions. Okay? What are your relevant provisions related to this act? Section 28 defines the partner by holding out. He's also known as the partner by estoppel. So even if you don't, okay, Priyanshi says, except he's a minor. Okay, that's interesting. But again, related to minor, you will be specifically getting those kind of questions. But I like the application of your mind that you have done. So you will simply answer that by partnership by holding out. What is it all about? Give the definition, those 4 bullet points that we did in the presentation yesterday. You will write about it. Then you will write the facts of the case. Now, most of you face a problem in writing when the case study about the facts of the case. So children, do you remember when you were small kids, like till class 10, you used to get comprehensions in English paper? आपको याद है comprehensions आती थी paragraphs. Even we used to have this business communication paper 2 years back for your along with law also. So you used to get comprehensions. Comprehension means the paragraph is given and out of that certain questions are given and you have to select the questions from those paragraph and write it down. So that is what the summary is, the facts of the case. The way you used to read the questions, it is exactly a replicate of what is given in the question, but it is to be expressed in your own words very briefly. See how ma'am has written in front of you. There is a very big question. I don't have to copy paste the question and facts of the case. What will I write? In the given case, A is just a friend of X. He was introduced as a partner. He remained silent and showed active participation. And Z has supplied this washing machine. Now he wants to recover. So it is absolutely in your own language and the way you want to express it. There is no hard and fast rule how the facts of the case have to be written. It is just a brief summary from the question. The conclusion is something which really matters a lot. So likhna तीनों paragraph में provisions also, facts of the case also, and then the conclusion. But how you express it, that is what matters in the exam. All right. Excellent. All of you. Somebody, Abdul, has written the provisions and facts of the case also. Yes, Shoaib, you have step marking also. If your conclusion is absolutely correct, you get 1 mark for that also. Step marking happens, but you have to be perfect in all these 3 paragraphs. It is so simple. If you have, first of all, you have to relate the question with what topic it goes with. Once you have connected with your brain that this is the topic, explain about that topic. This is known as relevant provision or provisions of the case or concern provision. Give this heading, underline it, and write provision. Write down the heading, facts of the case, underline, and give a briefing from the question. Conclusion. Conclusion में one line you can also write in your notebooks based on the above analysis and the facts. It sounds very impressive. You're writing as a professional paper. ये लाइन लिख दिया करो कंक्लूजन में ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ अबव एनालिसिस एंड फैक्ट्स ऑफ द केस है ना. We conclude that A, the friend of X, is liable for the price because he has become a partner by holding up. Since he represented himself or knowingly allows himself to be represented, he becomes the partner and Z has supplied the credit. वही बातें हैं, same things we have written in the answer. It's all about how you express yourself. Children, accept the fact law paper is not very tough if you have studied well. हिंदी में भी बता देती हूँ जो बच्चे पूछते हैं, अगर आपने अच्छी से तैयारी की हुई है ना और आपको पेपर अच्छे से लिखना आता है तो आप सब बच्चे पास हो सकते हैं विद गुड मार्क्स इन लॉ. बट अगर आपने तैयारी कर ली और प्रिपेयर्ड वेल बट यू हैव नॉट डन राइटिंग प्रैक्टिस, द ट्रबल बिगिंस ओवर देयर. So the more and more you write, the more and more you practice, you become perfect and no one can stop you from clearing the exam. All right, so I hope you all have enjoyed understanding how you have to write the descriptive questions. We will keep doing these kind of questions in between also. Now let's start with Unit 2, the first topic, that is relationship of partners with one another. All right. So here we'll be talking about the general duties. General duties of the partners. How you're going to relate with each other means what are your rights and duties. So what is the general duty of the partners? Even before we start this topic, what do you think as a partner can be your duty? What are your rights? You have certain amount of rights that we will be discussing in detail, but what are your duties? Is there any difference between rights and duties? Like our Constitution of India gave us certain fundamental rights. So those are our rights that have been given to us. Similarly, the partnership also gives certain rights to the partners, like the right to remuneration, right to be consulted, right to the share of profits, which we'll be discussing one by one. All these rights have been given. That means आपका हक है. You have this right in the partnership. But the duty, what is your duty? Like as a citizen, you have to follow the duty not to litter around, not to make your city and country dirty, to follow the traffic rules. Do we have these duties? Yes. Yes, ma'am. We do follow the duties as a citizen. Similarly, as a partner also, you have certain general duties to be followed. What is the first duty of a partner? To carry on the business, to be just and faithful. What is the meaning of just and faithful? Means you have to be very truthful. You have to be very honest when you are a partner in a firm. Can I cheat someone if I'm a partner in a firm? No, you cannot cheat. If you are cheating, you are not having the relationship of trust and faith, then you cannot run that partnership nicely. So the first basic duty of a partner is to be just and faithful, means to be honest, to understand how the firm's business needs to be done, and to give full accounts and complete information. Say, for example, there are three partners, A, B, C. C came to know that the firm, when A and B were not in the office, C met a client and the client gave 20,000 rupees as advance fees to Mr. C. Now, Mr. C, the partner, kept this 20,000 in his pocket and he did not disclose it in the accounts. Do you think partner C has acted in a just and faithful way? Yes or no? Please answer me. How will you tell this? Is he has done a fair thing or not? No, ma'am, he has not done a fair thing. Why? Because it is just and faithful. This is your relationship of partnership. If you keep doing such kind of things, you're hiding the money, you're not giving it in the proper books of accounts, you're not disclosing, that means you're cheating in the partnership and you cannot carry that partnership for long. So it is your duty, it is binding. Nobody will tell you that you have to put these entries in the accounts. This is your moral duty when you're a partner in the firm. You cannot cheat. Hindi में बोलते हैं हम धोखा नहीं दे सकते आप partnership. If you're doing such thing, then you cannot have a good partnership. To indemnify, okay, indemnify छोड़ दो भी, to contribute towards the losses in equal proportion. Now, what is the meaning of this word equal proportion? If we are sharing the profits in the ratio of 2:1:1, then losses also to be shared in 2:1:1. If you're sharing the profits 1:1:1, then losses. You also have to contribute the losses, means you will not just enjoy the profits. You also have to contribute to the losses of the firm. Not to assign his share to some other partner. If one of the partners is having 1/3 share with B and C, A is having 1/3, B is having 1/3, C is having 1/3. A transfers his entire 1/3 of share of profits to somebody else, Mr. D. Can he do that? Law says law does not permit you to transfer your share in the partnership to another party. Unless and until you're forming a sub-partnership. So when we do section 29, I'll explain you what is sub-partnership. As of now, as a duty of a partner, you have to remember that you cannot assign your share. अपना हिस्सा नहीं आप किसी और को दे सकते. You cannot say that my 1/3 profits will be given to this person. No. You cannot assign your share of profits to some other party. To attend to his duties diligently. What is the meaning of diligently? Means carefully. Now, again, for the fifth point, I'm going to ask my students a question that when you're a sole proprietor, then you suppose, let's imagine all of yourself, all those students who are here, Divyansh, Kiran, Anil, Priyanshi, Soumya, Abdul, Chandni, all of you just imagine yourself, Sapna, Chaudhary, everyone. Just imagine that you're a sole proprietor, you're sitting in your office and you have so many files lying in your office, which are just lying in a very untidy way on your table. And there is always a lot of litter in your room when you enter the room. And if it is your own office, what will you do? You will always try to clean the room. You will manage the table well, or you will just keep it lying like that only. अगर आप एक ओनर हो, एक सोल प्रोप्राइटर हो, बिजनेस करते हो, तो आप अपने ऑफिस में अगर खराब है सब कुछ काम, इलेक्ट्रिसिटी का बल्ब खराब है, ठीक कराने वाला है, तो आप उसे ठीक कराओगे? Yes or no? अपना टेबल अगर आपका अनटाइडी है, you will try to clean it? Yes or no? You will do it or you will not do it? If you're a sole proprietor, tell me, students, all those students whose name has been taken, you are the sole proprietors. What will you do? Will you try, make an effort? Yes, ma'am, we'll manage it. We'll repair it. Very nice. I will take care like my home. I will do it. Yes, obviously, ma'am, I'll take care. Absolutely beautiful answers. So this is what I expect you as a partner also. Now, why this question arises? Now, what will happen when you are a sole proprietor? Na, देखो कितना अच्छा everybody is answering. I will take care of it like my own home, because that is the place from where I'm earning money, right? And it is my own place, my own business. I'm loving it, and I have to take care of my all the things. So that means you're doing your duties diligently. Diligently मतलब ध्यान से, carefully, अच्छी तरह से. So diligently का meaning we have understood. Now let me make you a partner in a firm. So let's assume Anuspa, Priyanshi, and Anil. These three are partners in a firm. Now, do you think it's only Anil's duty to take care of the things? Or it is only Ansupa's duty? Or it is only Priyanshi's duty? It is all of yours duty. You cannot say that Anil bought the table for the firm. He will only take care. Why should I get the table repaired? These things should not come in your mind. All the partners' duty. Very good, Khush. Excellent. All the partners' duty to take care. Everyone's duty. Very nice. All of you have written it correctly. So that means you have understood. So when we have these connections of mind, then I really enjoy teaching my students, because this connection of mind is very important. That connect is very important. So always I try to explain you with these small examples so that things become very simpler for you and you learn it then and there only. Now you just open your books, you will see all these 5 words in my points. They are written in your study material. You just have to underline the word and you will remember the stories and things will become simpler for you. Is that correct? All right. So performing your duties diligently means as you perform your duties diligently as a sole proprietor, you manage and take care of things. Similarly, when you're a partner in the firm, again, you have to perform your duties diligently. You have to be careful of each and everything in the firm's business. indemnify the firm for the loss cost. Now, point number two. Point number two, before we do, students, have you done the chapter indemnity and guarantee? Because earlier we were not having it 1 year, 1.5 year back. Now you have it as your syllabus, indemnity and guarantee. So first you tell me what is the meaning of the word indemnity? What is the meaning of the word? Making good for the loss, to compensate the loss. Very nice. Now, why do you think a partner needs to indemnify the firm? Indemnity to ma'am, someone very good. Shoaib is saying assuring someone to making good. Palak also answers the same. Money given for the damages and loss. Why will the partner needs to indemnify? You all know the meaning of indemnity. That's absolutely correct. हमें किसी को compensate करना है, pay करना है अगर कुछ नुकसान हुआ है. ठीक है? So what we general example insurance companies, if any loss has been suffered, insurance company will pay you the indemnity because we have taken the insurance from them. But why are we using this word in concern of a partner? So similarly, if a partner has made the firm suffer any loss because of his behavior, then it is his duty to indemnify the firm. Absolutely correct. If he's doing any fraud, wrongful act. Instead of fraud, I will try to give you an example of any wrongful act done. Yes, because he's acting as an agent. Very good, Kavita. Excellent point. So because the partners are acting as the agent and principal of each other. Pavan Kumar, excellent. Naina, everybody is now answering. Good. Yes. So if there are three partners, A, B, C, there is a limit set for the partnership that no one can make the purchases from the dealer D for more than rupees 50,000. But Mr. A went and made the purchases for rupees 60,000. Do you all think the firm has suffered loss for rupees 10,000? Now, there is not actually a physical loss of 10,000, but yes, a budget of 50,000 was fixed for this purchase. He spent more money from the firm's account, which was as per the agreement not to be spent. So now law says that it is duty of Mr. C to compensate the firm. He will have to pay 10,000 from his pocket to compensate. Every partner has suffered the loss because it is duty of the partner. Now it is the duty of the partner to indemnify other partners, or maybe he can put this 10,000 in the joint account of the firm so that the firm should not suffer because of this loss that the partners have done. So any loss caused by him during his conduct of the business, only during the conduct of the business. If he has purchased furniture, say for example, furniture for office he was doing, he was not to do beyond 50,000, he did for 60,000, he will compensate the firm. But if Mr. C has purchased the furniture for his own house for rupees 80,000 or 60,000, then does he need to indemnify the firm? Do I then need to indemnify the firm if I have purchased the furniture for my home? No, ma'am, then we do not need to indemnify. Very good. Absolutely correct. Because this is for the personal expenditure. Let me just open the study material also for all of you. So all of you have correctly answered this point. For the home, he will not be, because it is from the firm's budget, then yes. If it is not, okay. That's the personal use. Very good. Only if it is for the conduct of business, then only he is liable, and not for his own personal expenditures. He will not be liable to the firm. So this is your chapter, relationship of partners. This is what we are doing, the mutual rights and duties, relationship of partners with third parties, implied authority. So all these three topics we're going to cover today. The relationship of partners and mutual rights and duties we'll be covering today. So this is your general duties of the partner, section 9. Let's do this example also from the study material. In a transaction between the partners for sale or purchase of a share in the business, if one of them is better acquainted with the accounts, then it is his duty to disclose all the material facts. Means if I know something more about the business, then I am supposed to disclose it. Say, for example, we are into sale and purchase of sugar, and I am a very good person who has the knowledge about the market rates which are fluctuating for the sugar price. Then it becomes my duty to tell the firm about the same thing. If you have any knowledge, material facts means any knowledge about certain facts, because the relationship of partners is based on at most good faith. Where have you read this word at most good faith before this? In the contract of insurance. When you do a chapter of indemnity, the contracts of insurance are also based on at most good faith. At most good faith का मतलब सच्चाई क्यों? कोई झूठ थोड़ी ना बोलेगा कि मुझे इंश्योरेंस चाहिए इसलिए I broke my phone and said I want income. And so it is always on a good phone. If you have insured your phone, you will get money if your phone gets broken. So you will obviously go to the insurance company only when your phone actually gets broken, not just to claim the money on a false fact. Duty to indemnify for the loss, everybody has understood. Agreements now, determination of the rights and duties by the contract between the partners. What is Section 11 tell you? Section 11 tells that sometimes we are binding the partners on the basis of contract between the partners. Like I just made a contract that you cannot buy more than 50,000. So that was my contract with the partners. That is the duty which has been imposed on them. And the second thing can be agreements in restraint of trade. So there is a reference of Section 27 of the Indian Contract Act, which all my students have done it very nicely. You have already done Indian Contract Act. So can you tell me what does Section 27 of the Indian Contract Act tells you? Agreements in restraint of trade. क्या पढ़ा है आपने उसमें? Let's have a quick recap. You have already studied about this provision. Section 11 of partnership says that you cannot do the agreements which are in restraint of trade. What does this mean? You have to tell me, children. Okay, 3 answers I've got. Others are still thinking. Okay, take your time. Very nice. Mr. Shoaib, Kaushal, Jeevan. Jeevan is answering over here. Miss Kaushal. Good. Okay. If there's a term goodwill, it will be valued. Pavan Kumar, I'm asking you section 27. Excellent, Kavita, Abdul, Divyansh, Pavan, Palak, Bhardwaj. Excellent answers given by all of you. That means you have revised your Indian Contract Act also well. And others who are still dreaming and wondering, ma'am, what was it? Please explain it once more. I'm going to tell you. Section 27 of Indian Contract Act, where you have done that the person, any partner shall not carry on the business with the competing business with that of the firm. So if there are 3 partners, A, B, C, and they are into sale and purchase of same electronic items. So now A leaves the firm and adjoining road, he opens the same business of the electronic items. So Section 27 of Indian Contract Act prohibits it. It says that you cannot carry the same competitive business in specified local limits and the specified area on for the specified time period. So that restriction which you have learned under Section 27, agreements and restraint of trade, tries to tell you that a partner cannot carry on any business other than that of the firm while he's a partner. Means while you're a partner, ABC are partners, they are in sale and purchase of electronic items. And this Mr. A also opens up another shop as a sole proprietor that I am also doing the same business. So when you're a partner in a firm, you cannot do the same competitive business. Okay, this is a very important provision. We will be ma'am, but sometime it is void, right? Yes, it will be void. If then what is that sometimes when it is void, Pavan Kumar? So this incomplete sentence is very dangerous. So let me explain you. There are certain limits within which this agreement in restraint to trade is valid. That means if I say that, okay, within the area of 5 kilometers or 10 kilometers, you should not be doing it. Or I tell you that for 2-3 years or 1 year, you cannot do it. But if I say that the restrictions are for 20 years, and for whole of India or whole of the city, you cannot do it. So then these agreements will become void. Okay, now I hope you can relate it. All right. So now next is conduct of the business, how the partners are conducting. Partner has the right to take part in the conduct of business. They can participate. They attend diligently. I hope everyone is clear now. Duties to attend diligently. Any difference arising in the ordinary matters connected with the business can be decided by majority of the partners, and every partner will have the right to express his opinion. So, for example, you're changing the business from electronic items. You have decided to set up some another business for, say, for shoe business. So now all the partners' consent has to be taken, or majority of the partners at least. Say one or the two partners are in different country, they are traveling. So it is not possible to take them on the line or talk to them. So out of 10 partners, even if 7 or 8 have agreed, then also you can take the decision in the ordinary matters. Every partner will have the access to the books of accounts, means they can check the books of accounts. In case of a death of a partner, his legal representatives will have the right to access the books of account. So this is a detailed point. When we do the topic of death of a partner, there we understand it in detail. Right to take part in the conduct of the business. Every partner has the right to take part in the business of the firm. So do you agree that every partner can participate in the business of the firm? Yes, ma'am. Every partner has the right. Can you say that A, B, C are three partners, and A and B have studied from very good schools and they have very good communication skills, and you say that C is not very intelligent, so we will not let C participate in the business? Can you do that? If you try to do this kind of thing, then court can also interfere in this partnership. This Mr. C will go to the court. He will complain against you that these people are my partners. We have signed the partnership agreement, and now they are not allowing me to conduct the business. They don't allow me to meet the business clients. They are not giving me the permission to check the books of accounts. Then he can obtain an injunction order and restrain the other partners from doing so. What is the meaning of this? Injunction is the order given by the court. It's a court's order. किसी को किसी काम करने से stop करना. It's a warning given by the court that listen, Mr. A and B, you cannot do that. Restraining other partners means उन्हें रोक लगाना इस चीज पर. So Mr. C can, by order of the court, by an injunction, can stop the other partners from doing this. All the partners have equal right. Your schooling, your education, your intelligence, your facial expressions, your personality has nothing to do. Once you have become a partner, that you should have seen before taking Mr. C as a partner. You cannot do any kind of discrimination just because of these kind of things. All the partners have the right to conduct the business. Okay, all of you have answered it correctly. In a partner who has been wrongfully deprived of his participation can go for other remedies like a suit for dissolution. What is the meaning of suit? Suit means filing a case. He can file a case for the dissolution of the firm, or he can ask for his accounts. He will say, give my money back, do my full settlement without dissolving. या तो आप dissolve मत करो, मेरा पैसा वापस कर दो. I don't want to be a partner in your business anymore. Above mentioned provisions will be applicable only if there is no contract to the contrary. Now, this is very, very amazing line. You know, partnership has the flexibility of agreement. We can do anything by deciding, okay, you and me have decided that we want to do this thing, then that thing only will happen. If we have decided that not to do this thing, then that will not happen. It is all upon the agreement that we have. So if by partners have agreed that Mr. C will not be allowed to take part in the business, if such an agreement Mr. C has signed, okay, fine, I enjoy doing the back end work. I'm more of an IT expert. I'll be handling your laptops and computers and other kind of thing. Although I'm a partner in your firm, but I've agreed that I will be not participating in much in the conduct. Then C cannot go to do. So if partners have made an agreement to the contrary, means if they have themselves agreed that this thing will happen, then that thing only will happen. It is quite common to find a term in the partnership agreement which gives only limited power of management to a partner. So at times you can participate. The court will normally be unwilling to interpose with the management. Court is not required to interfere with the management of the partners. How they have decided in the partnership agreement, then that will only follow. Everyone is clear on this point. Anyone has any doubts, please feel free to ask. Yes, if it is a contract shake, then they will go as per the requirements of the contract. All right, good, good, good. Miss Kaushal. What about others? Okay, good answers given. Okay, ma'am, clear, no doubt. Well done. Right to be consulted. Right to be consulted means all the partners shall be consulted. I told you if there is any majority of the partners can also consulted, but for the routine matters, it is not necessary to call up everyone and ask them that I'm giving a discount. Should I give a discount to these partners? For routine matters, you can take your own call. You don't have to make a call to all the partners to decide. But when major things are to be made, like changing the nature of the business or any such kind of things, then it is very important that unanimous decision has to be taken. You cannot say that we have not discussed it with the other partners and you have changed the business only. रातों रात आपने business ही बदल दिया partnership firm का, because 10 of the partners, 7 have agreed, 3 don't even know about this. Then it will not be acceptable. So it says the majority rule is not applicable where there is change in the nature of the firm itself. In such case, ununanimous and unanimous consent of all the partners means all the partners needs to be consulted. So like admission of a partner, if some partner is joining, then also all the partners needs to be consulted. You cannot make decisions by just consulting majority of the partners. Unanimous meaning, the Nana, unanimous means all the partners. Sab log razamandi देंगे तभी. Okay, it means everyone. Unanimous means all of them. Right to access the books of accounts. If there are 3 partners A, B, and C, and B is not allowed to touch the books of accounts, is it fair? Do you think he has a right? Definitely, he has a right to check the books of accounts. But if there are 3 partners A, B, and C, Mr. B always keep coming and seeing whether you have booked the profit correctly, whether you have done all the entries or not. Why did you spend 5,000 rupees? Where did you get this money from? Now, what is Mr. B doing? He's raising a suspicion, doubt. आप अपनी बुक्स ऑफ अकाउंट्स का ऑडिट कर रहे हो, शक कर रहे हो, दूसरों के ऊपर, दूसरे पार्टनर्स पे विश्वास नहीं कर रहे हो, you're not trusting other partners, then also it is not required. You just have to have the right to access the books. You cannot do suspicion. Side पे लिख लीजिए, right to access the books does not mean that the partners can raise the suspicion. Yes, Khush, she can be a partner in more than one firm because you can have maximum of the 50 partners. But this provision of being a partner in other firms is part of your audit syllabus. You will understand when you do the topic of audit in CN. Right of legal heirs. Who are the legal heirs, children? Representatives or duly authorized agents. कौन होते हैं legal heirs? If one of the partners has died, then their legal representatives will get the money. So whatever share of profits was due to Mr. A, if Mr. A has died, then his family members or his elder son or whosoever is the legal representative, or the duly authorized agents means whosoever has been authorized by the court. That person will get the right to access the books, and he can also come and inspect the books whether the correct profits has been given to him or not. Is that clear? Yes, he can be a nominee right there. What are the mutual rights and liabilities? These are all the points of right to remuneration, right to share of the profits. One by one, we're going to discuss all the points of section 13. Anyone wants to ask any doubts still here? किसी को कुछ भी doubts पूछने हैं, you can raise your hands if you want to ask anything. Everything is clear? Let's proceed then. Section 13. Good. Section 13, children, tells you about the right to remuneration, clause A. First of all, what is the meaning of the word remuneration? Remuneration means a salary given to a person. Now he's saying right to remuneration. Can a partner get a remuneration? No, ma'am. Partners only get the share of profits, not the remuneration, not the salaries. Partners are not given salary in the business. But the rule can be varied, means you can make changes. A partner can get the remuneration if the remuneration is payable under the continued use of the firm. It is the customary to pay the remuneration. Means we have decided, like I told you yesterday, an example, that there are 3 partners, A, B, and C. Yes, partners only get profits. Ansupa, bilkul theek bol rahe ho aap. But there are 3 partners, A, B, and C, and Mr. A have good managerial skills. So I decided that Mr. A, apart from the business that we are doing, you are going to act as a manager also for our office. So for this additional kind of thing that he is doing for the business, maybe A, B, and C have made an agreement that we will be paying you an extra remuneration also for this. और इट इज कस्टम मीन्स ये रिवाज है फर्म में, ऐसा हम करते हैं कि हम सारे पार्टनर्स को कुछ रेम्यूनरेशन भी देते हैं सो दैट यू हैव अ फिक्स्ड अमाउंट ऑफ परसेंटेज ऑफ प्रॉफिट्स दैट यू गेटिंग एवरी मंथ. So if you have made such kind of agreements, if you have such kind of requirements, then yes, you can give remuneration, that is salary, to a partner also. ठीक है. Right to share the profits. Do I only get the profits or I need to contribute towards the losses also? What will be the profits that will be given to the partners? How do we share the profits? Tell me, children. Do we only share the profits or losses also? Absolutely correct, ma'am. We also share the losses. In what ratio? In the ratio of agreed ratio. Very good. Equal ratio. Jeevan Muthu says equal ratio. Why equal ratio? Abdul also says equally. As per the agreement, as per partnership deed, whatever we have decided. And if nothing is decided, then we share it. There is no connection between the proportion. And do we contribute to the losses also? Yes, ma'am. We contribute to the losses also. What is the meaning of this line? There is no connection between the profits and the capital that you have contributed. See, for example, A, B, and C. A bought 10,000 rupees capital, B bought 5,000, C bought 1,000. And in the agreement, they have decided to share the profits equally. Now, the profit was 9,000. So 3,000, 3,000, 3,000, all the partners will get the profits. So how will you manage? Can you say that I contributed more capital, I should get more profits? And only the person who has bought 1,000 rupees capital, he's also getting 3,000. Can you debate upon that? No, ma'am. Yes, Pavan Kumar, they are completely different. Capital, if you have decided that we will be sharing it in the capital ratio, then you can do that. But you cannot say that I have bought more capital, I should get more profits. It is all as per the agreement that we have made in the partnership deal. All right. So let's take a small break. I need some water for my throat. Let's take a small break and then we will continue. Just go through all these points from the study material and my notes as well. All right, welcome back, students. I hope I'm audible. There was some internet issue in between. Kindly confirm if I'm audible, students. All right. So we have done rights of the partners. We have done duties of the partners. Interest and capital we were doing. The rights of the partners. I hope everyone have understood about the remuneration and sharing of the profits. Now we're going to discuss the interest on capital. So is it compulsory to pay the interest on capital? So you all understand capital is the investment brought in by the partners. It is not necessary to pay the interest on capital. Now, all are these points which you have done in accounts like to IOC, ABC, to interest on advances, to sharing of profits, ABC. These are all accounting parts that you've already done. Now we are understanding from the point of view of law. Yes, Naina Verma, absolutely correct. Thank you, Divyansh, Anil, Sneha for confirming, Ansuka, that it's audible now. So interest on capital means that it is not compulsory to pay the interest on the capital which has been brought in by the partners. But if there is an express agreement means we all the partners have decided that interest on capital should be given, then we definitely need to have to pay the interest to the partners. Say, for example, we have decided that this much amount of percentage will be given as the interest, then it will be paid. If it is any trade customs to that effect, or it is a statutory provision. What is the meaning of statutory provision? Means there is certain compliance which needs to be done as per the law. If these are the requirements, then we can pay interest on capital to the partners. What is the meaning of interest on advances? What is the meaning of the word advance, children? Sometimes a partner along with the capital has given certain amount of a loan or advance to the firm. Advance means I have given certain, the firm was in need of certain borrowings. I, as a partner, Mr. A, have lended certain advances as a loan to the firm. Now, interest on capital is optional, only if it is a per agreement. But interest on advance has to be paid to the partners at the rate of 6% per annum. What is the meaning of 6% per annum? If the loan has been given for 3 months, 6% into 3 by 12. Loan has been given for 9 months into 9 by 12. So per annum into 1 by 12 is the rate of 6% per annum. Interest on advances will be given. And the interest on capital ceases to run on dissolution, but this is not the case of interest on advances. It keeps running even after dissolution. So when the firm is dissolved, it comes to an end. Just 1 minute, student. Yeah. So interest on capital ceases means the interest on capital comes to an end when the firm is dissolved. But advance, now you have given me 10,000 rupees. I borrowed your money till to be repaid till 1st December. Now, if the firm has been dissolved on 1st November and the time I have not repaid your money, so for that additional 1 month, I will still pay you the interest on advances until the date of the payment. Means till the date amount has not repaid, I will keep paying the interest on the advances. Right to be indemnified. Now, what is the meaning of right to be indemnified? One was that we have your duty to indemnify the firm. Right to be indemnified means a partner has the right to be compensated. Every partner has the right to be indemnified by the firm for the payments made and liabilities occurred in the ordinary and proper. So that means I am a partner, Mr. A, who went to make the purchases for the firm, and I made the purchases for rupees 10,000. But the bill was, I took the account of money from the firm's account, rupees 10,000, but the bill was for rupees 15,000. So 5,000 at that time I had to pay from my own pocket. So only rupees 5,000 that I'm paying from my pocket, I need to be indemnified by the firm. All right. So anything which I'm doing in the ordinary and proper conduct of the business, if I am paying anything for the firm, I have the right to be compensated. Very good. All of you have understood it correctly. Another example can be a damage happened in the firm and Mr. A quickly went and, say for example, a fire occurred and he jumped into the fire in order to save all the files. Now, whatever expenditure was done, Mr. A, in the act of emergency. So section 21, 22 of the partnership, many a times examiner has asked you question out of it. Any act of emergency, if the partner has done, he needs to be indemnified for that. Means he should be compensated. Is that correct, children? So this is your written, it is written also over here. Any acts done in the emergency for protecting the firm from any loss of payments, then you have acted as a prudent man would have acted. What is the meaning of this line, a prudent man? I told you you're a sole proprietor. You were taking care of your things. If your house occurs on fire, you will immediately try to jump and call the fire brigade and try to save your house. That means you're acting as a prudent man. जो आप अपने लिए करोगे. Same things, the same way you should have acted as a partner. All right. अमित वाघ मेरे सेज मैम इंडेमनिफाइड का हिंदी में मतलब इंडेमनिफाई का मतलब होता है कि मुझे एज अ पार्टनर कॉम्पनसेशन मिले. देखो बेटा, इंडेमनिटी का मतलब होता है कॉम्पनसेट करना, किसी का कोई नुकसान हुआ है उसकी भरपाई करना. तो अगर आप फर्म का नुकसान करोगे तो आपकी ड्यूटी है इंडेमनिफाई करना, फर्म को पे करना. अगर आपका नुकसान हुआ है बिजनेस में किसी चीज से, काम करते हुए बिजनेस के लिए काम में, कोई इमरजेंसी में एक्ट आपने करा, फ्लड आ गया, आपने सारी फाइल्स को बचाया फ्लड से, तो आपका कुछ खर्चा करना पड़ा आपको उस बिजनेस को बचाने के लिए या अपने काम में, तो फर्म आपको उस चीज के लिए पे करेगी, कॉम्पनसेट करेगी. इसका मतलब होता है राइट टू बी इंडेमनिफाइड. आई होप एवरीवन इज क्लियर अपॉन दैट. Anil is asking all the partners need to be. So, Anil, whosoever the partner who has done this expenditure, that partner needs to be indemnified. Okay. Divyansh, statutory provision means if it is the need of any act, any compliance. For example, you're a partner and as per compliance, if it has become compulsory, some amendment has come in the act, some statutory provision. Statutory provision का मतलब होता है legal compliance. अगर legal compliance में it is important to give the interest and capital, then you have to pay the interest and capital. Yes, Saleha Farms, that's absolutely correct. Kavita is right, acting in the ordinary prudence, acting genuinely. Very good. Okay, Amit is now clear. Good. Okay, Divyansh also wrote, okay, ma'am. So well done. I hope all of you have understood. And any one of you wants to speak and ask, you can raise your hands. I will speak to you. Okay. Right to indemnify the firm. अब आपको indemnity मिल गया. मतलब if you have done any, if you have suffered losses, firm has paid you. Similarly, it is your duty also and it is your right also that if because of your willful neglect, firm has suffered a loss, you have to indemnify the firm. This 13 clause F is the same point that we did from our notes, that is the duty to indemnify. Similarly, it is your right to indemnify, means you would just Anil is saying, ma'am, prudent means volunteer. No, beta, prudent means जैसे कि आप खुद अपने लिए करोगे. Prudent as a man of ordinary prudence means जैसे कि आपका अपना बिजनेस होता तो आप उसके लिए करते, उसी तरह से आप वैसे करो, उसके लिए करो. ठीक है. वॉलंटियर तो होता है अपनी चाह से करना. आपको अगर आपने करा है, वॉलंटियरली भी करा है, बट आपने प्रूडेंट मैन का मतलब होता है अगर आप ऑर्डिनरी कोर्स में अपने लिए जैसा करते वैसे जेन्युइनली करो. Section 10 is same as section 13F. Yes, Naina Verma, absolutely correct. So that is the similar point that you need to pay the firm if any loss has been caused to the firm because of your mistake, because of your willful neglect. Is that clear, everyone? Any doubt in the rights and duties of the partner, please feel free to ask, children. So we have done section 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 of the Indian Partnership Unit 2. Okay, everyone has written, ma'am, all clear, no doubts. That's wonderful. Let's move ahead to partnership property. Now, when I talk about partnership property, okay, Kavita has a doubt. Yes, Kavita, you want to speak?
Hello, ma'am. Good morning.
Good morning.
Ma'am, I want to ask you that there is a compulsory if I know the section of that answer, then I have to write subsection also.
Okay. First of all, in CA Foundation, we have always been telling you it is not compulsory to write the section. Even if you are writing, you are learning, never write a wrong section. So same goes for the subsection also. If you don't remember, you can leave it. Section 13, A, B, C, D, nahi yaad hai, to section 13, if you remember, write it. But don't write a wrong section. Wrong section gives a very bad impression. So if you're simply writing Kavita as per the provisions of Indian Partnership Act, that is also fine.
Okay,
But if you have learned it, you are writing it, then it's okay. Even if you're not writing the subsection, it's fine.
okay, okay, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. Anybody else has any doubts, you can ask children. All right. So what is the meaning of partnership property? Partnership property means what is the property of the partnership. Section 14 tells you that the partnership property is divided into two parts. Number one, property of the firm. First, I'll show you my notes. That's what I'm going to open. So these are the rights we have done. Partnership property means property of the firm, goodwill of the firm, and application of the property of the firm. So two sections simultaneously we are going to do. Section 14 and section 15. Miss Kaushal, I am taking the doubts from the portal also. Please write down what is your doubt. Miss Kaushal. About the duties to indemnify for the loss caused by firm. Miss Kaushal, what is your doubt in this, beta? Duty to indemnify. We just did this duty. I hope now you're clear. Agreement in restraint of trade, we have already done. I hope now you're clear, Miss Kaushal. Please reply yes or no. Are you clear about the duty to indemnify the loss? Yes, it's the same section 10 that we did in section 13, clause F. Okay. All right. Let's proceed ahead. Partnership property is divided into two parts, section 14 and section 15. Section 14 tells you that what is the property of the firm. All the capital that you have brought in the firm, all the assets that we have purchased during the business, they become the property of the firm. Property means kya hai uske assets, firm ki property kya, and how this property needs to be used. Pavan Kumar is asking if a partner has brought any property which belongs to him as a capital. Yes, it will be the partnership property. So what is the partnership property is all these assets and capital that you have bought in the business. You can read it out from here. So partnership property means the property, it is partnership assets, joint stock, joint estate means all the rights in which the partners have collectively entangled. Property which is deemed to be of the firm shall be all the properties, rights, and trusts which the partners have contributed as common stock. So here, under point number 1, you can write down that means all the capital brought in by the partner. Write down under point number 1. Okay, Miss Kaushal, I have now got your replies. You have understood. That's great. Keep asking your questions, children. Don't worry. So there are students at the Zoom session in the chat box also and in the admin query also. So don't worry. You can freely ask wherever you want to ask. So under point number 1, please write down capital contributed by the partners. Under point number 2, it is saying all the assets purchased in the ordinary course of business. So point number 2, write down means all the assets acquired means purchased. All the assets and property purchased during the course of business. So एक हो गया 10,000, 10,000, 10,000. All the partners brought this capital. So this 30,000 is the partnership property. When we started the partnership, we got a table of 15,000, chair of 20,000, and air condition of 30,000. So this 30, 20, 50 plus 15, 65 is your partnership property. जो भी आपने एसेट्स खरीदे, कैपिटल लाए, वो सारी क्या होती है? पार्टनरशिप प्रॉपर्टी. And goodwill of the business. Now, goodwill, you have to tell me, because you're 11th, 12th commerce students, you have been hearing this word goodwill since long time. So what is the meaning of goodwill of the business? All the reputation that you have earned during the course of business is also your partnership property. जो भी आपने इज्जत, मान, reputation कमाया है during the business, that is also partnership property. That is why whenever we sell the partnership business and dissolution or sale of partnership in accounts also you would have done, we are paid for the goodwill of the firm also. Means you're paid for the reputation. It's an intangible asset, name, fame. Very good. All of you have written correctly. Reputations of the company, Ansupa, not company, business firm. Partners, है ना? So company is yet to come. Saleha, Abdul, Naina, Pavan Kumar, correct answers. Anshika, Anushka, Amit, good. So everybody clear now? All the capital brought in by you, all the assets brought in by you, and all the goodwill of the business is your partnership property. Now, what is the question of a fact is whether the particular property which is being used for carrying the business is a partnership property or not. ये आपका main मुद्दे का question है. Now, let's assume that there are three partners, PQR, and all the business meetings are held at P's house. Although they have the office in Janakpuri in New Delhi, but all the office meetings are held in Rajouri Garden where Mr. P is residing in his house. So since we are doing all the business meeting in P's house, can we say P's house is also partnership property? Yes, ma'am, or no, ma'am? I want valid answers. Yes, Miss Kaushal and Shoaib Ali, Jeevan Muthu, Jolly, whosoever is here, they should also answer this question on the admin portal. No, ma'am. All of you say no, ma'am. Why? Just because you're doing business at somebody's place, it will not make you the partnership property. But there is very interesting twist. Partners may at any time convert the property of any partners into a partnership property. Now let's assume there is, if you would have heard about New Delhi locations or any other place. Say I have taken the example of Rajouri Garden in New Delhi. So let's assume most of the partners reside near that area only, and it is very difficult for them to go to some another area. Say, for example, the office is in South Delhi. So now they decided, since we have a separate room or the office in Mr. A's house in Rajouri Garden, why don't we make this office only the partnership property? Now, since they have agreed, so then they can convert the part of the house of Mr. A, which is their own property, they have converted it into the partnership property, provided they have done it in the good faith. Such conversion should be in good faith and would be effectual between the partners and against the creditors or the separate property of a partner into property. So this is a separate property which is actually of the partner, but they can convert it into the partnership property also. Number one thing is, you're coming to my house, we're doing the business, it's my personal property, not your partnership property. Number two, we're doing the business in my house, everybody stays nearby, or whatsoever reason we decided that this is a comfortable place, let's convert it into partnership property, then yes, it can become the partnership property. Everyone clear? So what have we learned in section 14? First, these 3 points. What is partnership property? Then we have done how do you find it, whether it is a partnership property or not, depends upon the agreement between the parties. The mere fact you're using it for the business purpose will not make it. So nowadays, people go and hang out and have coffee in the restaurants and while discussing the business meetings and clients. That does not mean that all these cafes become your partnership property. Does this happen? No. So you have a habit of going to Starbucks for doing your business meetings and clients. Starbucks will not become your partnership property. Okay. Yes, it can be converted provided it is very good, Kavita. It can also happen at a contribution of capital. Section 14 says goodwill is also property of the firm. Again, goodwill is very difficult to understand, difficult to define, but it is easy to understand. It is a reputation built over the ages that you have been doing the business. Goodwill is also part of the property and can be sold like other properties of the firm. Again, Section 27 restrictions have been imposed. Such agreements will be valid if the restrictions are reasonable. It is talking the same points that we have discussed in the first half. Agreements in restraint of trade means you cannot carry the business within the specified limits after you have left the firm as a partner. Point number 2 talks about the property of a partner. So this is again the example that I have gave you. You can write it down in your own words. The example of the property of house of Mr. A. It can be converted into partnership property if there is an equity. Otherwise, personal property of the partner is not the partnership property. आपका घर, आपका residence, जो आपका अपना personal office है, वो partnership property नहीं है. Partnership property is the property where you collectively doing the business, the assets that you have acquired in the business, the goodwill and the capital. Is that clear? Application of the property of the firm. Now, how the property of the firm is to be used? Can I invite whole of my family in my partnership property office for watching movies? Can we have theaters in the partnership property and everybody is invited or for celebrating birthday parties? Absolutely no. The application of partnership property shall only be done for the purpose of the business. Property shall be exclusively used for the partnership business. Now, this section 15 sounds very simple. So why have they included in law? This is the common sense thing. So let me take this example. We have taken of the assets, house, big buildings, all this example. Now let's take an example of a car that is to be used for partnership business. So ABC, 3 partners, and they have purchased an Alto for doing all the business work. Now, from the firm's fund, they fill in the petrol and Alto, and whatever the sale and purchase for the business meetings, they're using that particular car. Now, if Mr. A starts using that car for picking and dropping his own kids from the school, do you think Section 15 is validly applicable over here? Is he using it exclusively for the conduct of business? Tell me. Is he doing something wrong? Yes, he's doing something wrong. You cannot use it for your own personal profit. Similarly, partnership property cannot be used for your own personal usage. It is cars, is partnerships property. But yes, if you have made an agreement, you have, yes, he has violated. Very good. Section 15 is violated. In this case, absolutely correct. All of you have written it correct. But if you have made an arrangement, okay, fine, Mr. A is putting petrol from his own pocket, he's bearing the wear and tear also, and the agreement has been made that Mr. A is allowed to do so, then it will be a separate story. Or they can be arrangement, Mr. A, it is Mr. A's car only, he has lended it for the partnership property. So you have to see all the permutation and combinations can be given in the question. So apply your mind to great extent. What is important is conceptual clarity has to be there. Understood, everyone? Section 14 and 15. I hope section 14 and 15 are absolutely clear. No doubts in this, children? Understood. Okay. All right. Good. Now we're going to move on to section 16. Miss Caution, no doubts? Okay, good. Now let's understand section 16. What does section 16 tells you? Personal profits earned by the partners. Now, this section is very simple. We'll understand it with the help of the 2 examples. These are exactly the 2 examples that are given in your study material. But sometimes the law, the technical language sounds very tough, but when you understand the examples, that language becomes very easy for you. So first we'll understand the example, then we'll go and read the part which is given under the law. So personal profits held by the partners, it says A, B, C, and D set up a partnership business for refining sugar. So they are into sale and purchase of sugar business. They are refining the sugar for them. A himself is a wholesale grocer. A, B, C are partners in refining sugar business, but A is also a wholesale grocer who is purchasing sugar and selling it to the retailers in the market. So he is very well aware about the variations in the sugar price. He knows when the sugar price is increasing and dropping. He is very well aware of it. So when the price was very low, say for example, it was rupees 100 per kg. That time he kept a lot of stock of 6,000 bags in his store, purchased for rupees 100 per bag. Later on, the price of this sugar changed. It became rupees 150 per bag. The firm was in need of sugar at that time because they are into the business for refining sugar and they could not get it from the market easily. And A said, I have certain packs of sugar lying in my godown. Why don't you purchase it from me? Do you think A has acted smart over here? He purchased it rupees 100 per bag from the market, 6,000 bags. He has spent rupees 6 lakhs. And now he's selling those 6,000 bags for rupees 150. How much profit? Calculate your maths. I purchased it for 6,000 for rupees 100 each. 6 lakhs. Now I'm selling it 6,000 bags at the rate of rupees 150 each. How much profit Mr. A has made? How much profit he has made? Everyone. Anil, absolutely correct. Everyone. 3 lakh rupees is the profit. 9 lakh का बेच रहा है ना अब उसको. All right. 6 into 150. 9 lakhs. So now he has earned, and 6 lakh का purchase करा, 9 lakh का sell करा. So 3 lakh profits he has made on his own account. A is bound to account for this profits. It is your firm. You're selling to your own firm at a higher price. That means, Mr. A, you have earned a profit of rupees 3 lakh. You are supposed to disclose this secret profit without informing them that this belongs to him. Means he did not tell them that this sugar is lying with me. He said that I have purchased it from the market. So that is wrong now. 100 rupees, 50 rupees variation. He has earned the profit in that. So that is the personal profits. If you are earning any kind of personal profits in the partnership business, Section 16 gets applied and you need to account for it. Means you need to disclose it. You need to tell the firm. Is that clear, children? First part. Now let's do the second part of Section 16. A, B, C, and D are partners for the importing salt at foreign ports and selling it at Chittagong. A has struck certain transactions of salt in his account which were found to be of the same as the business carried by the partnership. Now they're into sale and purchase of salt business. So now here what A is doing, again, A has started a same competitive business of doing the salt purchase sale in his own name. So second point is talking about doing the same competitive business as it was carried on by the partnership. Therefore, again, any profits that he's earning from his business, he needs to pay it back to us. Let's assume you are a partner in somebody's running a saloon, hairdos and all these kind of beauty services. You are a partner in that business. And at the same time, 2 houses across, you have set up your own beauty salon parlor also. So one, you are doing the partnership with me. You have understood all the trade secrets. Now you're applying it in your own business. So in the same business, you're the sole proprietor also. And in the same business, you're partner also. That is what Section 16, second part says. You cannot do that. Any profits that you have earned from that business, secret profits, you should. Yes, absolutely, Abdul. This is part of restraint of trade also. Absolutely correct. But here he's trying to tell you whatever personal profits if you have made by doing this competitive business, you shall disclose it to the firm. You need to pay it back to the firm. Okay, children. So section 14, 15, 16, quickly read it from the study material. I'll take a small 5 minutes break over here, 2-3 minutes break. Just read it. If you have any doubts, then write it and then we'll proceed ahead. All right. I hope you all have gone through the points. Any doubts, you can ask children. Otherwise, we'll move ahead. So these are the points related to both the points A and B, and example 3 and 4 relates to point A and B separately. Anyone has any doubts can raise their hands. Yes, Anil, section 16. Okay, Divyansh, you want to speak and ask your doubt? What is your doubt? Abdul, I think I answered you. Yes, it can be part of restraint of trade. That's correct. Anil is saying, ma'am, explain once more. Anil, कौन सा point नहीं समझ आया? Please ask. I will explain that. Yes, Kavita, when it is written that as per the restraint, that means the line which they have written is, he shall account to the firm all the profits made by him. So if you're doing any competing business, you need to account for the profits. When we say any contract to the contrary means, this is subject to a contract means if we have made an agreement. Say, for example, I am into a partnership with you and we are doing electronic business. But I told you, look, Kavita and let's take another name, Krish, that I am partners with you, but I am also running my own store of electronics. So I have there is already a contract. We already knew about this thing. Then it will be a separate story. Okay, but if it is not aware and I'm doing it secretly, so why that's the heading section 16 personal profits means you're doing it secretly. You're doing it without telling anyone. Then section 16 applies and you need to pay the firm whatever profits you have earned. Okay. You're not supposed to speak without raising your hands. Okay. Anil is saying, ma'am, section 16A. Okay. Kavita was saying, okay, ma'am, understood. Okay. All right, beta. Yes, Anil. Section 16A says if partner gets any profit for transactions of the firm or uses the property firm for his own business. So now, in this example, you have done the transaction of the firm in your own name. You have already purchased the sugar and you have kept it separately in your own godown. And now you are lying to the firm. You're speaking, झूठ बोल रहे हो आप फर्म को कि मैं मार्केट से खरीद के लाया. आपने तो 100 रुपीज की पहले ही खरीदी हुई थी. अब आपने 150 पे उनको सेल कर दी फर्म को, तो आपने 50 रुपीज प्रॉफिट कमाया है, वो आपको फर्म को बताना पड़ेगा. All right, Anil, is it clear now? Okay, Divyansh has a doubt. Is it compulsory to give public notice in case of partner by estoppel? Very interesting question, Divyansh. Why do you need to give public notice? First of all, tell me. Why do we need to give public notice when we are retiring from the firm? Am I correct? And partner by estoppel is not a partner in a general rule. He becomes a partner only for that respective transaction. Now, since he is not a partner, why would he retire from the firm? Are you understanding, Divyansh? अगर मैं आपकी फर्म में पार्टनर हूं तो मैं रिटायर होंगी और मुझे पार्टनरशिप में नोटिस देना है, पब्लिक नोटिस कि आई एम नो लॉन्गर अ पार्टनर. बट पार्टनर बाय होल्डिंग आउट तो पार्टनर है ही नहीं. I said that he's a partner, that's why he became partner by holding out. And जो उस वक्त transaction हुई उसके लिए ये partner liable. Okay, Divyansh wants to speak. Better you speak and tell me. Yes, Divyansh.
मैम मेरा ये क्वेश्चन है क्योंकि एक क्वेश्चन आया जिसमें ए बी सी 3 पार्टनर थे. डी जो है इंड्यूस पार्टनर है, मतलब पार्टनर बाय स्टॉपल. तो एक ट्रांजेक्शन हुआ क्रिएटर जेड के नाम से, तो एक बार में हो गया. उसके बाद जो है डी जो पार्टनर बाय स्टॉपल है वो छोड़ के जाना चाहता है, वो चला गया छोड़ के कि पार्टनर नहीं हूँ मैं वैसे भी. तो वो उसके बेसिस पे उस जेड ने दोबारा उसको फर्म को दे दिया. अब वो लाइबल रहेगा कि नहीं, ये क्वेश्चन का आंसर समझ में नहीं आ रहा है.
अच्छा, ये क्वेश्चन आपने कहाँ पे देखा है?
मैम एमटीपी से एमटीपी आरटीपी कुछ तभी है उस
at the institute website, right?
हाँ.
Okay. So this is a very nice, interesting question. Thank you, Divyansh, first of all, for sharing the question for everyone. So let me explain others also. Divyansh ने जो बोला है कि one of the partner, Mr. D, is partner by holding out, and Z has given credit to the firm on the basis of D being a partner. Am I correct, Divyansh? This is the case. So now we have understood once you become partner by holding out, Z can also take an action against you. So now if D is a partner in a firm or he is not in a partner in a firm, for that particular transaction, Z can again file a case also. Are you understanding? For that particular, on the faith of whom we have relied and given the credit to the firm, that line is very important. I relied that you are the partner. I understood you're the partner. And now I gave money to the firm. I want my money. I have given products to the firm. I want my money. So then Divyansh, definitely Z can take an action against Mr. D. Whether he is part of the partnership or even if he's retired, he can take an action against the person who has become partner by holding up. Is that clear now? Okay. All right. Let's do one small section, section number 17 from the study material. Now, this is a very simpler section. It says rights and duties of a partner after change in the firm. How does the firm changes when some partner is coming in, joining in, when some partner is going out by death or retirement, when the partnership carries on the business other than the business for it was originally formed. What does this mean? Can anyone tell me? Partnership carries on the business other than the business. That means you form the partnership for a particular business and now you're doing the business even after that particular business. So we thought that we'll only be putting up an exhibition. Now, even after that exhibition, we are doing the business. So the change has happened. Or the partnership carried out after the expiry of the fixed term. We have fixed the term, 5 years partnership. Even after 5 years, we want to do the business. In both cases, third and fourth, can we say that it becomes partnership at will? Yes or no? General partnership, very good, Pavan Kumar. Yes, absolutely correct. So what happens? Now it becomes partnership at will. Even if you're carrying on the partnership after the term of fixed period, you're still carrying it on without determining, it becomes partnership at will. So in section 17 says, in all these 4 cases, whatever change in the rights and duties of the partners will occur in the reconstituted the firm, it remains the same as if immediately they were before the change. So there were 3 partners A, B, C. Now D have joined the firm. Now A, B, C, D will have to share the rights and duties. There were 3 partners A, B, C. One has retired. Now A and B will have to share the rights and duties. After the expiry of term, it says when the firm is constituted for a fixed period, it continues, then the others before the expiry, they will be consistent with the institutes of partnership act. I told you, if you are continuing the partnership even after the fixed term, it becomes partnership at will. Naina Verma, absolutely correct. Yes, Kavita, he is only liable for the transactions which were held considering him as a partner. Absolutely correct. Is that clear, children, all of you? And the C point says additional undertakings. This is about particular partnership. Again, as you were liable for the original undertakings, you will be similarly liable for the general partnership. So here you can simply write down admission of a partner, retirement of a partner case, particular partnership getting converted into general partnership, and fixed partnership getting converted into partnership at will. These are the 4 cases under section 17 when the changes happen. The rights and duties remain the same as if they were earlier with respect to these categories. Yes, Naina Verma, absolutely correct. You have written in the chat box. Those points are absolutely correct. Any doubts till section number 17, children? 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So we have done good 7 to 8 sections till now. Now I'm going to give you a briefing about the topics that we are going to do in the next class. We'll be doing section 18 till section 30. Now, what is the meaning of, as of now, the first part of the chapter, you have understood the rights and duties and liabilities of the partners with each other. If I'm earning a personal profit with the partnership firm, I need to pay for it. What is my duty? My duty to indemnify, my right to be indemnified, all the rights and duties. Please try to learn them today because we will be having the next class on Tuesday. So you have 2 days. Whatever we have done in the partnership till now, you should learn. So then we will be discussing about the relation of partners to third parties. We'll be having the extent of liability of the firm. What is the liability of the firm for all the acts of the partners? How Section 28 applies partner by holding out. We have already discussed. Creating the liability of non-partners. He's actually not a partner now, but we have still made him liable for the transaction. Section 29 is basically for your sub-partnership. जहां पे एक transferor and transferee relationship आएगा. Who is a transferor? Who is transferring his share of profits to another person, and to whom the share is transferred is called a transferee. Position of a minor. Can minor join the business? Can minor be admitted to the partnership? Yes or no? Yes, ma'am. No, ma'am. No answers? Yes, he can only be admitted for the benefits of the partnership if all the partners have agreed. So section 18 to 27 is exclusively about the liability of the partners, how they are held liable for the actions of the firm. So when we talk about section 18, children, I want to ask you one question. There are 5 partners, A, B, C, D, and E. E is most of the time traveling to Bombay, Calcutta. D is most of the time traveling to Delhi, Bombay, and all these places. 3 partners, A, B, and C, are regularly doing the business in the firm. So as A, B, and C are regularly doing the business and D and E are almost always traveling, Mr. A went and purchased furniture for the business for rupees 2 lakh rupees. Do you think Mr. D, who was not available, he was away in Kolkata, he's also liable for this purchase of furniture? Yes or no, and why? Always support your answers with reasons, children. Let me see the answers. All of you have said yes, ma'am. Why? Because of mutual agency. All the partners are agent of each other. Whatever you will do, I am liable. Whatever I am going to do, you will be held liable. All the laws applicable to agent will apply to partnership. That is the reason why we have included indemnity, guarantee, and agency in part of Indian contract, because we have been using these words. So it is important that the students do all these topics in CA Foundation only about the indemnity, agency, and guarantee. But agency can be extended only to the business and does not to the works done in the individual capacity. What is the meaning of this line? At the same time, if he has purchased this furniture for his own house, do you think any of the partners will be liable for that? Can he recover the money from B, C, D, or E, any partner? Because for individual things that you have done, for personal things, other partners are not held liable. Agency operates against the sleeping and dormant partner also. They are too liable for the acts of the ostensible or active partner. Now, this last line is the point from where we started the... Yes, Naina, absolutely correct. It is not applicable for the personal things. The last line of today's chapter is the first thing that we started, that whether a sleeping partner is also liable for the actions of the firm. You said, yes, ma'am. But if the sleeping partner has left the firm and he has not given the public notice, will he still be liable for the acts done after he has left the firm? अब कोई गलती नहीं करेगा, मुझे पता है. All of you have answered it correctly. No, ma'am, he will not be held liable. Why? Because, okay, just a second. Where is, if Miss Kaushal has written anything, let me just see. Yes, because he left the business. Yes, absolutely fine. Because now he has left the business, he has retired, so he will not be liable. And since he's a sleeping partner, he's not required to give the notice. If the firm is established for the business of a sugar and a partner is also running other than the earning profits. Yes, Miss Kaushal, if you are doing the similar kind of business, it's a competing business. And again, you will have to pay the personal profits to the firm. All right. He's not liable for the... Yes, Naina, Divyansh, Ansupa, Anil, all of you are correct, children. Everyone has given the correct answer for that sleeping partner question. So what is the meaning of authority of a partner? One is the liability of the partners we'll be talking, and another topic will be the authority of the partner. Now, it is related to the further parts of the topic, section 19, 20, 21. So we will not go into much of the details because then the link gets broken in between. So, but simply we can remember authority means what is the capacity of the partner to bind the other partners. This is what mutual agency tells us, that if I do something, other partners are also liable for that. But only for the acts related to the business, you can bind this. Let's read this example. ABC firm, Mr. Ray, a partner, booked the tickets through travel agent for a holiday. Do you think A did not make the payment? Can we say the firm is liable for that? No, ma'am. Firm is not liable because this act was done for his personal purposes. You cannot say that I am a partner and I am going for my holiday. Other partners will book my tickets. No, that is not acceptable. But if A is flying to Singapore for the firm's business, then can the travel agent recover the money from other partners? Yes or no? Then can he recover the money from other partners? Yes or no, children? Yes, ma'am. Then he can recover because that is the act very much done within the partnership business. So I think we have good enough covered section 9 to section 18, around 9 to 10 sections we have covered today. All these sections 19, 20, 21, 22 are interrelated. So we will be doing them in the next class. All these liabilities, minors topic will be taken up, admission, retirement, expulsion. Expulsion is very, very important, children, insolvency, everything we'll be doing in the next class. And then let me just take you. If you have any doubts, you can ask. Otherwise, I'm going to ask you certain MCQs from here. You'll not be able to answer these MCQs because we have not done all the points. Let me see if now see so many questions have been given over here. I would request you, once we have done this chapter thoroughly, then you should start writing down these answers. Again, section 37, all these sections you have not done till now. So we cannot even do the descriptive questions because हमने अभी करा नहीं है ना पूरा chapter. So once we have done, then only you'll be able to answer it. So children, any doubts still here, please feel free to ask. I'm here for 2-3 minutes more. If you want to speak, you have any doubts, you can ask. And if it's all clear, then also you can let me know. No doubts, ma'am. It's all clear. Good, Shoaib, Divyan, Shalmas, Anshika, Anil, Anspa, all of you good. So you have been also answering the questions nicely. Okay, Palak says all clear, ma'am. All right. So students, once as of now, we have just completed chapter number 1. Like Divyansh has asked about a query today from the MTPs and RTPs. So I would request all of you also to go through all the MTPs and RTPs related to the first part of the partnership. So we have done unit 1 and the first part of unit 2 is also done. In the next lecture, we'll be covering major part of unit 2 till section 37, 38 we'll be covering. And then we'll be moving to the last unit 3, that is registration and dissolution. So till what we have done, if you can find out any questions from the suggested answers, from the mock test papers or from the RTPs, you shall do its writing practice. All right. And I hope you have enjoyed the class and you have been really good audience, good students also, because when you revert, when you answer back, I can make out how well you have understood. And thank you for writing. It's all clear, ma'am. So it makes me feel proud that you don't have any doubts. But my humble request to all the students, please do the writing practice. Learn the stuff first. First, open the books, read it, check the presentations, and all the presentations will be there. Don't worry about the presentations. Everything is going to be uploaded on the portal. So you don't have to worry. Okay? And after that, you have studied, you have done it nicely. Then you should make your notes. Then you should do all those questions after doing the writing practice. All right, students, thank you so much. So we don't have any doubts. Thank you, Abdul. I'm glad you enjoyed the interactive session. That's great. Okay. Thank you, Palak, Amit, Priyanshi, Kavita, Divyansh, all of you. God bless you, children. Have a nice day. Enjoy yourself. All right, sir, we are done with the session. Students don't have any doubts. Hanji, sir.